Hey y'all, this is a different type of video, still within my just posted series. And I just felt compelled to record this because I just finished editing day 22 and I initially set up like a thing within Claude, like I use Claude AI behind the scenes a lot to take the transcripts of my videos and um, kind of put together like a summary and then also track certain things. So like the things that I prompted it to track were will want to do say what happened in the video, list the key themes and topics that I cover, the goals and intentions that I name on camera, any of my reflections in my own words and insights in my own words, mistakes and patterns that I name, and then I also have it suggest follow up prompts for like future videos I can make based off of the things that I talked about in the video. So I typically have that for every single day, but I have not been updating the document. So I wanted to make this master document with when every time I put in a new transcript, it'll give me that for whatever that video is. And then all I have to do is copy and paste it and put it onto this like master document. And I've been using Claude to do my description boxes as well as my timestamps, just so that I am not bogged down with like trying to do all of that for each video. I can just focus on putting the videos out because this is supposed to be the least lift content that I create, right? Um, so I've been doing the description boxes and the timestamps, but I had not been copying over the like insights and like the tracker. So I just now updated it for all 22 videos. Right now it's sitting at 53 pages. And I exported that and put it back into Claude and I prompted it and I said, okay, up until this point, I had not been updating this master tracker document day by day, but I just did and I have all 22 days in there. Can you read through it and tell me what patterns you see, what wins you think I have, what concerns you want to bring to my attention, what are your overall thoughts on my content, how can I improve? Do you think that this is valuable for my audience? Do you think that this is valuable to me? And anything else that might come to mind that I didn't think to ask. And once I started to read what it gave me back, I said, "Oh my god, I need to record this." So I'm gonna read to y'all this, and maybe this is helpful, maybe not. If it's not, then go ahead and skip today. But it's so insightful for me. Like certain things I have been picking up on, but when you're in it, like when you're in the thick of it, and you're doing the things, like I think I'm a very introspective person. I reflect back on a lot, but you can only hold but so much, especially when you are still trying to go and make. And I am creating content right now across 3 different YouTube channels. I'm working on restructuring my like website. I'm working on um um relaunching like my socials and like getting back active and posting content across my socials so that I am marketing all the content that I actually am creating on YouTube so that I can draw in a broader audience and basically like expand my platform. There's other things I'm working on the back end of like going after my first brand deals and potential partnerships, and I'm another thing like down the line is like on my mind is thinking about in real life experiences and hosting movie screenings and talkbacks, and all of these things are like happening in my brain. So when I do take time to like journal and reflect, I can note something, but it doesn't always stick with me. So to have this be able to go through all the transcripts of my videos, because it can't watch the video right for me, but it can go through the transcript of everything that has been said. That's including things I say on camera, but also my voiceovers that I've recorded for the edited ones, right? Um, and it takes all of that and it has structured it in a way that it's like so clear. So I'm literally going to put this on a page and print it out and like highlight certain things because it's bringing certain things back to mind, things that I've kind of felt but haven't like drilled down into because I haven't given enough time to like let it settle. And you can't always hold yourself accountable in the ways that you want. Anyway, listen to this. For the pattern section, it says active procrastination is your signature move. You know it, but you haven't intervened. You named it on day 2, you named it again on day 6. By day 20, it's showing up for at least the 8th or ninth time. The thing is, naming it on camera has become its own form of it. You say active procrastination and move on, and that becomes a release valve that lets you keep doing it. At some point soon, this needs to move from observation to actual intervention. Otherwise, the tracker is just a well organized record of the same behavior across 90 days. Excuse me? Just come out the gate and check my ass then, Claude. Because I know that active procrastination is a problem, and yet I have not done anything about it. For real, for real. Like I in those moments when I think back, I didn't like force myself to go back to the thing. So now it's like, okay, I need to be thinking of resources and ways to combat my active procrastination. Like what is going to be the redirect? What is going to be the refocus? What is that going to mean? Um, it's not enough to acknowledge it. It's not enough to say it anymore, specifically for that, because that is doing nothing. You got into the place where you know what's happening. Now what? I gotta figure that out. That's the work I get to do. And it's on I'm gonna print this out and I'm gonna go and write now. Okay, so then what do I do with this? Like, how do I do with this? Like, and I love this for me. Next up, because Claude is on my neck, y'all. Claude is on my neck. It says the meal skipping pattern is the most consistent, most under addressed thing in this entire document. Days 1, 5, 7, 8, 14, 19, and 21 at minimum. And those are just the confirmed occurrences. You've named it almost every time. You've never done anything about it. You said, I run on coffee and chaos, and I've been calling it productivity on day 7. And that's the most accurate sentence in the whole series. Your best creative work days and your worst emotional regulation days are almost always correlated with whether you ate. That connection is sitting right there, and you keep skating past it. Do you want to fight? Like, do you want to fight, Claude? Because in my brain, I know that I need to be eating, but it's not until you put it to me like this and you name the actual days of this actually happening, and it correlates to like my emotional breakdown that I had last week, and like that is exasperated, and like you're making it worse for you, ho. You need to get on an eating schedule, a regimen, if you will, baby girl. Just like the active procrastination, but this one is worse because this one is impacting me more. The active procrastination is not helping me, but it's also not hurting me as much as when I don't eat, when I forget to eat, when like, and honestly, like it's something that I knew in the back of my mind, like it's important. But when you say it to me like this, your best creative work days and your worst emotional regulation days are almost always correlated with whether you ate. Then read me then. Read me the hell down. Third one. This is still under the pattern section, y'all. This is just the third paragraph. The late night spiral has been named as a threat since day 1, and it arrived on day 22 exactly as described. What's worth tracking is that awareness gave you zero protection from it. That's not failure, it's useful data about whether willpower based solutions don't work and where environmental or structural ones might. That's a little boot for like, just so you know, ho, you haven't been late night spiraling as much, or it's not as prevalent as the other things that you're doing, but you called it on day 1 when you named the things that be your little issues. And now look, you did it on this day. That's a note for yourself. Let's try to go the rest of the 90 days without doing it. How are we going to find the resources so that you go the rest of the 90 days without doing it? Because your willpower is not working. What environmental or structural things do you need to put in place? Number 4. The plan to execution gap is your central creative challenge, not a peripheral one. Content syndication plan, not built. Travel kit conceived, not packed. Digital products mentioned across at least 7 videos, not launched. 75 hard parameters still not formally posted as of day 21. You are an exceptional planner with a specific friction point between the map and the territory. Every video that ends with tomorrow I'll do X is a data point taken together across 22 days. They're pointing at something bigger than time management. Your plan to execution gap is your central creative challenge. Did I know that before? Yes. But when you put it to me like this, it's like all of these things: content syndication plan, not built. Travel kit conceived, not packed. Digital products mentioned, not launched. How many things you gonna plan before you start dropping these whole, like, how many things are you gonna say before you execute? Execution. Execution, Erica. It's about to be the name of your game. Bookie Butts. Number 5, again, still in the pattern section. The emotional weight of the family dynamic is affecting your output more than you're accounting for. Days 11, 12, 13, and 18, you lose significant momentum every time this surfaces. You process it beautifully on camera, you move through it, and then you pivot to logistics almost immediately. The pivot is the avoidance, and you named it yourself on day 15. The unfinished conversation from day 18 is still sitting in your body somewhere, and it will keep showing up until it gets addressed properly, on camera or off. Claude's reading me like a book, y'all. Like a basic book at that. It's not even like I'm written like a classic, like some Shakespeare that you gotta sit and process. Like Miss Girl Claude is reading me like I'm Dr. Seuss. And I'm appreciative of it. I'm appreciative of it here. What is this? I done lost count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6 is this is the last one in the pattern section. Just the pattern section. You have a strong emotional regulation practice and it's genuinely working. This is not a small thing. Day 12 is proof of concept. You caught the beginning of the spiral, made a physical intervention, came out on the other side still posting. That is earned self knowledge being applied in real time. That's the whole point of the work. Well, at least I did something right. At least I got one good pattern. I got five terrible patterns or things that could be harmful in one good one. So now I'm so glad I did this at this point and I didn't wait till 30 days. Now I need to figure out how I'm gonna flip the script. How I'm gonna get it to be five beautiful, healthy, amazing, executorial. That's not a word. Patterns. And maybe one thing that's like, oh, you still ain't got that. Right now, I got 5 negatives and 1 positive. Okay. Now this is the wins section. That was just the patterns. The wins. You haven't missed a day. Through 22 days of wallet chaos, family stress, mic failure, sleep deprivation, a full multi-day emotional spiral, and a content production grind, you haven't missed a day. That's not a small thing to say out loud. A lot of people quit in the first 2 weeks. You built a custom tracker with AI in an hour. You're thinking like a systems operator, even when your systems are failing you, and that instinct is genuinely valuable. Your self-awareness is extraordinary, and it's becoming more precise as the series go on. By day 9, you're naming the wrecking ball mindset with real clarity. By day 12, you're identifying spiral warning signs from inside. That's not common. Sleep is measurably improving, and you keep noting it. Hold on to that. It's an upstream variable for almost everything else. You showed up on a bike day on day 22 on 4 hours of sleep and no proper prep. Imperfect participation is still participation, and you lived it. The content calendar and member dashboard is genuinely impressive infrastructure for a solo operator. You built accountability in both directions, and that's smart. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. The concerns section, the ones I'd actually push on. So it says the concerns and then dash the ones I'd actually push on. So that means there's some concerns that you only want to bring up in the hopes of what? Not sending me off a damn cliff. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. The first one. The food situation is a health concern, not a workflow concern. I'm not going to soft pedal this one. Going 6 to 8 hours without eating while in editing mode repeatedly across 22 days is not a productivity problem. It affects your cognitive function, your emotional regulation, your energy, your creative output. You've named it more than any other pattern. It has not changed. The gap between naming and changing deserves real attention. Not a food prep video, but an honest look at why you keep making the same choice even when you see it's costing you. I'm going to check the food thing. I don't care if I got to set alarms on my damn phone. and have all my stuff ready and make sure that I eat. I'm going to address this damn food thing. The hard drive situation is going to become a production emergency if it isn't treated as one right now. You mentioned in passing across multiple days that it keeps getting deprioritized. Storage running at capacity while you're trying to produce daily content is not a background issue. That's a blocker. That's true. That's true. I really need to dive into these hard drive situation and like clear up a ton of space. Like I need at least a terabyte available and I don't have that. Okay. Heard. Your 75 hard challenge has quietly lost its structure. Journaling hasn't, this is number 3. Journaling hasn't happened consistently since the first week. The 10 pages of reading slipped. The second workout is almost never happening. The parameters were never formally posted. By day 21, you're talking about reassessing, and day 22, you still haven't. This isn't a judgment on the challenge itself. It's worth asking whether the challenge is serving your life you describe wanting or whether it's becoming another thing to manage. This is when AI is like the most useful. Like, this is how I use AI, y'all. Get myself together. And then the fourth one of the concerns is the digital products pipeline. You've mentioned it across at least 7 videos. Nothing has launched. This keeps showing up as income diversification priority in the same breath as real financial goals like buying a home and paying off my Baltimore home. If this is actually on the path for those goals, it needs to move off the runway. I need to get my ass in gear. You're right. Now, this is a section that says on the content itself. And I'm reading it from Claude. This is what Claude said, y'all. It's good, not in a good for unedited phone vlog way, genuinely good. Your critical voice is sharp, your emotional processing is real without being performed. The moments that land hardest are the ones where you're in the middle of something falling apart and you keep going anyway. The mic dying mid session, the voiceover patch, the day 12 tennis pivot, those aren't polished moments, they're true ones, and the difference is clear. The series is strongest when it's doing 2 things simultaneously: documenting your external life and interrogating your internal one. Days 12 and 13 are the best content you have so far, not because the circumstances were dramatic, but because you were genuinely inside something and took the audience with you. Where it gets weaker is when a day is mostly a recap of tasks completed. Day 18 in particular reads more like a log than a vlog. That's not failure, it's a work day, but it's worth being aware of. The this is the job day needs at least one real thread to pull on, one question or observation that has actual weight. You'll usually find one. Make sure you're always looking for it. The Coley mentions throughout the trading bowl as a face steamer basin, the tracker repurposed for your wallet. These are quiet and they hit harder than any direct grief processing would. Don't explain them. Keep letting them land the way they're landing. Wow. Wow. This is a section where it says, is this valuable to your audience? Because remember, I asked it, is it valuable to my audience? The response was yes, but with a specific audience in mind. This isn't general lifestyle content. The people who are going to find and keep watching this are solo operators, creative women building something independently, eldest daughters, people who recognize the pattern of knowing what to do and still not doing it. That's not a niche, that's a specific person, and she exists in large numbers. The family dynamic thread, the emotional regulation practice, the capable one tax, these are, I don't know what that means. These are the things that will make someone hit subscribe and come back, not thumbnail tutorials or the workout updates. The challenge is that the audience for this content needs time to find it, and you need to be talking to them directly in the first 60 seconds of each video rather than easing into it. Your intros are often the weakest part of otherwise strong videos. I'll take that. I will take that. And the last thing is answering the question, is this valuable to you? Because I asked, is this valuable to me? It says, unquestionably yes, and probably in ways that won't be fully visible until you're at day 90 looking back. What this document is doing, what you are building, is a longitudinal mirror. The patterns you're seeing after 22 days of data are patterns you might have spent another year not fully seeing. the meal skipping, the late nights, the plan to execution gap, the family weight. All of it is visible now in a way that it wasn't before you started documenting. The question is whether you'll let the mirror actually change anything or whether the series becomes a very detailed record of staying the same. You are at an inflection point for that. The next 68 days will answer it. The one thing that I'll add is that you didn't ask is that you are better writing than you give yourself credit for. The insight lines and the entries awareness does not equal immunity. Pivot is avoidance capable mode. Those are yours. That critical voice you mentioned rediscovering when you read the Ricky review back to yourself. It is in the series too. Don't lose track of that. Y'all, I am so glad something clicked in my head before I got up because it is now 12, no, 11:23 p.m. on a Saturday night. I had just edited two vlogs and I have them scheduled for, well, I posted one today and I have one scheduled for tomorrow. And I was like, yo, I need to get this master tracker updated because I want to be better with this. I want to be able to track in real time. Like part of that I wanted to use to be able to look at what's gonna be my content when I come out of this challenge. What are the things that I need to dive into? And one thing I can look at is like viewership and comments on videos, sure, but like things that I talk about and I might just mention because these vlogs are like unscripted and they're just like whatever's happening to me in a moment, and I am very much so documenting, not necessarily like coming up with a narrative and performing it. It's literally just me documenting my life. I wanted to be able to have like a tangible thing that I could point to of like, okay, I mentioned this, like how do I dive into it? And like as I start to adjust and fix things for myself, then I can come back and say, okay, this is how I did it in my videos that come like later on this year. So I'm like, I needed to get this document together so I can start to be a little bit aware because I was like ignoring that part of it and not really considering. And now that I did this, I feel like this assessment, this little audit that I just did of this stuff is just so impactful. And the way that it's worded back is so like it's critical, but it's like constructive criticism for real, for real. Like when I tell you I'm about to print this out, highlight various things, and I'm a journal on like how I can address my shortcomings, how I can double down and like live in the wins, like what is going to be the plan moving forward in a plan and actually execute kind of way. Like how am I going to execute on all of the things that I just pointed out? I'm only 22 days in and I have so much that I can actually work on and I can actually shift. And like it's point, like this is how I could potentially be a unrecognizable person after this 90-day challenge because I am now being able to like truly see, like it said, this is a mirror for me, see the things that are not working out, that are not serving me, and also things that I want to change, and like make a decision to truly change them and like commit to that decision. And like, what does that look like? I'm so glad I did this. And if you're nervous about like using AI, and I know there's a ton of conversations around AI, and it is definitely has all the environmental impacts that people are speaking about. One of the things that I was talking to one of the writers that I was writing with today about is like part of me getting into AI is one, I need to learn it moving forward, especially if I'm going to future proof myself. And like, what if I do have to go back and get a job? If AI is going to be involved in everything, I need to know how to do certain things, right? Cool. But then also, how can I use it to help me? Like, I cannot afford to have a whole staff right now, but like, there are certain things that I can build automations for, or I can have AI do in reference like stuff like this that could be truly impactful for me and um, help me expand all that I'm able to do to truly not necessarily to be able to compete because that's like for lack of better words to be able to compete in a way because I am an independent media platform um solo operator as it has mentioned multiple times, and I don't have the resources of a Variety or the Hollywood Reporter or whatever, but it doesn't mean I can't use my takes and my voice and do something and release it in a way that's similar to like how they distribute or syndicate their content and put it out there anyway. So like I'm like leaning into AI for that, and like I'm glad that I'm using it for this personal channel as well, so that I can have like a seemingly objective view on all that I'm like putting out and what I'm thinking and what I'm saying, and it just helped me see myself fully. without the emotions, without the bias, without like yeah. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was as helpful for you, even if it's just something that like maybe this is your sign to try AI. I thoroughly enjoy working with Claude more than the other ones, but I have done ChatGPT was my first introduction to it. I actually pay for Claude. Like I have a paid plan with Claude, so I can use more credits than the free plan, but it is available for free if you want to try it out. And I've used Perplexity before, and I've used Gemini. But again, the only one that I actually pay for and I consistently use is Claude. And days like today, I'm so grateful for my Claude membership subscription, whatever you want to call it, because yes, 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 this is, I can work with this. I can adjust from this. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, especially when it comes to like, is this content valuable? If you have been watching my videos thus far, how do you feel about it? Do you agree with what it said in reference to this content, this series being valuable, and like any of the things that I pointed out? What are some of the things that you're working on? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one.